Hi there, this is Adib from T Technology. We are going to continue with our lesson with the most important one in Master of Manual Testing, which is quality parameters. So, quality parameters, what is the quality parameters? What is the purpose of using of quality parameters? This is all we're going to discuss, and we're going to learn top 10 quality parameters at this video. So the first, what is quality parameters? Quality parameters is key characteristics or metrics they're using to evaluate the effectiveness and efficiency of the software testing process. Or in a simple word, in order to know the effectiveness or efficiency of a software testing, we need to use some metrics. We need to use some parameters, some characteristics to evaluate them that these requirement meet as expectation. Or we can use these parameters to evaluate whether the software is meet its requirement, function correctly, and it's reliable, it's maintainable, and secure. This is the main important part of the quality parameters. Then, as I mentioned, we're going to learn top 10 quality parameters. In here, what it makes different than other people, what makes different here, because I'm going to tell you the definition of the parameter and the test objective of the parameter. What does that mean and how we can test it? So let's start from the correctness, which is definition. So correctness means the software should function according to the specific requirement and produce the correct outputs. What is the test objective here? In here we need to check the behavior of the software which is expected and function and meet the functional requirement. This is the correctness. For example, if the software gave us 10, 5 plus 5 equals to 10, then the output should be 10. If the requirement says 4 plus 5 is 9, then the output should be 9. That is, we check the behavior of the correctness of the logic in the software. The second parameters, which is reliability. Reliability, what does it mean? It means the software should be consistently performed as expected under different conditions over time. For example, if we wanted to test, we want to evaluate how well software perform with failure under a typical or a peak usage scenario. For example, how the software perform. If one user want to log into the application, how does it perform, behave? If 100 user log into the system at the same time, how does the application behave? This shows the reliability of this. And or for example, how we can control this one is defect density. Defect density, nothing which means about how many defects or how many failure that this software has, and this under this condition which is fail the system, How does it behave? How does it perform under typical and peak scenarios? The third one is about performance. It means we check the performance of the software, such as response time. If I download something from the software, in how many times is the download is started, and scalability. So in scalability means how does it behave horizontally and vertically. So how we can test these parameters? We can use different tools. For example, we can put it under different loads, stress conditions, to see the performance efficiently. For example, response time, how much resources or CPU memory does it use. So all of these parameters can be tested by different tools. The fourth parameter is usability. It's clear how much the software easy to use and understand by its end user or intended users. Then what they need to be tested. So it need to be tested to check the user interface or UI. Is it easy for interactions or not? Or is it get how many time it does it take to complete a task? Or we can use usability testing scenarios to test the UI interactions. The number 5 is security. So the security, which means the software should be protected against unauthorized access. If I don't have the, for example, login and the password, so I should not access to that software. Data breach, its information should not leaking to the other people, or it should be secure against of malicious attacks like hacking or sending all those issues like hacking, sending virus, so on. So how we can test this one? We can identify vulnerabilities part of the software. We can test for access control. We can test for encryptions. We can test for data protections. So for each scenario, we can test this as a security for the software. The 6 parameters, which is maintainability. Maintainability means how easy to maintain or modify the software. Whether there will be a bug fixing or an improvement or enhancement or adapting to the new environment. So how we can test these maintainability parameters? We can evaluate the ease of debugging, how is easy to find, to fix the debug, how easy to change the code, or how easy to add new features. So all of this belongs to the maintainability of a software. And 7 is portability parameters. So these portability parameters, which talk about how these software be able to run in different environment with hardware configuration or operating system. For example, how this application run on Mac, on Windows, on Linux. So for testing objective, we can test the software compatibility with the various platforms on phones, on Mac, on Windows. So all those applications should be portability. And the 7 parameters is compatibility. When we talk about the compatibility, that means how the software works seamlessly with other system or other software or other applications. So we can test these parameters by using of checking the interoperability with different devices or operating system or network, environment, or third-party software. So we can check this, how this software is compatible with the other software. How does it work with the operating systems, like this application is compatible with iOS, this application is compatible with Android, this software is compatible with a Mac. So all those come under compatibility parameters. Number 9, scalability, where it talks about how much software is able to scale horizontally, which means to add more machines, how much the software is capable to scale vertically, which means how much add more resources. So this is how to test this one. So we can test this software with how to handle the growth in users, in data volumes, or transaction loads. An easy example for this, for example, it can be our data volumes day by day get increased. For example, if I do 1 bank transactions is 1 user. How does system software behave if I do 100,000 transactions, bank transactions? So all of those can be tested through scalability of the parameters. The last one, which is number 10, definition of testability. So this testability means how this software should be designed in such a way that can be easily tested. So for testing objective, we need to make sure the test case can be developed for all requirements, and this software provides enough hooks to automate as well. The software should be testable both manually and through automation process. I just covered top 10 quality parameters. There might be more than top 10, and there is more than top 10. So these are top 10 of the more popular one in the software testing. So please, if you got any question, comment in the below. I will provide for you the answers. Thank you so much, and we will stay tuned. We will continue for the next lesson.